But just how much pressure was there to breastfeed Jane? Did you breastfeed when you had your daughter?
Yeah, my first daughter, which was, what, 24 years ago, there was a great pressure in the hospital, literally from the second she was born. They were kind of like, you know, breast is best, there I am. Look.
Oh, look at that.
Obviously, dyed my hair dark in those days. And I really struggled, I have to say, really struggled. And I didn't get on with it at all. She was constant, she was a big baby, she was like 8'8" or something. She was constantly crying, hungry. So I literally got out to the car park when I was on my way, right, that's the end of that formula. And she slept through the night from then on. Second baby, I just thought, I was so rubbish at it. And they were like, are you going to breast? And I went, no. And they just knew from my tone of voice, there was no point trying to...
Don't mess with me.
Exactly. And I just think you should do what suits you. I had a friend that was brilliant at breastfeeding, loved it. I didn't love it, and I wasn't very good at it. And I just don't like this whole sort of guilt thing about you should do this, you should do that, you know? Do what you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I mean, I think obviously breast is best if you can do it. Of
course.
You know, it's what nature's given you, and it is the best possible thing you can give them, so why wouldn't you try? And I tried with Rafferty, but he was taken to an intensive care. I had a C-section, and he had fluid on the lungs.
Oh, look.
He's funny, isn't he? Oh. And so straight away we had to do formula to keep his weight up and also breastfeeding. But I was there, and I couldn't actually walk properly at that point. But I had to get, you know, the colostrum that you have when you first, the most important part.
The, like, clear
and I had
stuff.
to squeeze it onto the teaspoon. And then they had to take it to him to give him the best stuff, and then they syringed it in his mouth. Oh. And I just felt like this lioness because I had to get this colostrum to my baby no matter what it took, you know. And I was there. Sorry, but I was there, you know.
The man in the front
giving it the
like
best I possibly could. And then he thrived. He was thrived. It was the magical colostrum.
Did you use a mixture of the two?
And then from then on, I used a mixture, but there was a real pressure just to breastfeed. And I did find it tricky. Sometimes he latched on, sometimes he didn't. And I stupidly and instantly thought because I had big boobs, he'd just latch on and it'd be fine. No, not necessarily the case, is it?
No.
And it just didn't happen. And so the formula was great, and it also gave a chance for my husband to bond with him.
Yeah.
And it was nice because sometimes I could have a little
T-shirt and put the bottle through.
I'm sorry, I just find that icky.
It's really
That's
weird.
just a bit icky.
I think the pain. I think what people don't realise, and people in the hospital don't seem to have time most of the time, is that it can be very painful.
But they say, oh, you're doing it wrong.
I know they do say that, but the thing is, if it is painful, I'm assuming you can't do it. And, you know, lots of people can, and I don't think anybody should feel pressured. I don't think it matters as long as your baby is healthy and well.
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
the only thing that matters, isn't it, girls? Forget about whatever. I know the breast milk is right, but the formula, I mean, my Keely's grown up well, and when she had her babies, I just said, don't think about it.
But it does get you down. You do feel like you're failing them.
You felt depressed then,
I did feel depressed. It made me really emotional when I was breastfeeding, and I was just sobbing my heart out all the time. And then once I eased off and went more to formula, I did feel better. But I'm glad I did do the breastfeeding as well.
Yeah, I mean, they do say, you know, that people said to me, oh, you just obviously weren't doing it properly. Well, I had sort of like 3 different midwives in the hospital showing me, putting the baby
a different
on.
way, maybe.
Well, no, just trying to make it, and they just said, oh, it's, you know, they said it's not working, so it's just...
Some of these taps don't work.
They don't, exactly. Whenever we set targets in things, that's when I think people feel like a failure if they don't hit that target.
And I think as well, but the babies can pick up on your stress.
Yes.
And I think a lot of the time, because I tried with both of mine, with Finley, it just didn't work at all. He was doing the equivalent of like that. I wouldn't go anywhere near it.
faces that they pour, hilarious.
Face. And with Amy, straight on, not a problem. Oh, obviously I didn't breastfeed him then because that's disgusting.
That would be wrong.
Yeah, no, he was 3 then. I think got a picture of Amy. Oh, there you go. She's a little bruiser.
All your professional pictures. We were like that.
Mine was in the studio. But you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And I think the babies can feel that you are forcing something in, and you've got your toes gritted and your eyes, teeth, and you know what I mean.
And you do feel like the machine is going when you're breastfeeding, don't you? They don't tell you that.
Whereas I feel like it's
going
with a bottle.
Like your whole body.
Yeah, and then you have to get it out with that
pump.
pump.
And then the pump. Oh, no. was one of my low points when the midwife turned up to see how I was getting on because I was depressed. And I had the breast pump going. I was going, yeah, I'm great, and nothing was coming out.
That's when you feel like a cow, you see.